Hello everybody. How's everyone on Friday? Oh, it's really awesome to be here. You know what? When I started this episodes, right? This whole BC series. Initially, I was thinking like, no, it's very hard to do it. It's like I watched these guys do it on television. I thought I would never be able to do it, but guess what, guys? Today is like the ninth episode. I mean, like just a little bit more, we will be hitting 10 episodes. So sometimes I feel that in life, right, you just have to push yourself a little bit, just do it, and you never know what you're going to achieve at the end of the day. So I thought it was very interesting because this journey itself, right, I've learned so much in so many aspects, from like going live on social media, right? Then you have all these elements in terms of like how to use StreamYard, this technology to stream, and how to connect different stuff together, how to put your PowerPoints, and also I thought it was like quite a nice journey. And the more I do it, like the more I'm able to give to the community. So I thought it was really fun. So yeah. Hey, hi. Oh guys, if you guys are coming online, right, just say hi. I would love to greet you guys as well. Yeah. So for this episode, right, that I was being given a challenge by my colleagues and my teammates, right? So what they basically asked me to do is to multitask. And these guys are my colleagues are very naughty. So they want me to multitask and be able to play this game, right? Called the snake and ladder. I don't want to do this, and at the same time do my presentation. Yeah. Hi, Rutira. Nice to see you. Yeah. So people are coming in. Oh, by the way, right, guys. So if you are coming on the live for the first time, you will realize that there's like maybe about 3 second to 5 second lag between what you post to me and what I can see. So yeah, I might have a slight lag in terms of response, but I'll respond to you. Okay. Yeah. So while we are doing this, I'm just gonna start the whole challenge right now. So I'm gonna click play. Okay, and then now I have to do the live show as well. Okay, I crashed. So you see, guys, even before I can switch back the screen, I crashed. Yeah. So this is so funny. Yeah. Okay. Proven. I can't multitask with more than three screens at one time. But that's interesting. Okay. So yeah, always continue to push our boundary. Yeah. And then that's where you experience a lot of new things and you learn, right? Because life is all about progress. It's not about like always about earning money, becoming rich and like just showing the world how good you are. It's also about self fulfillment, right? It's like the more things you learn, the more things you can share. Yeah. So yeah, as you guys know, right, I've created this series because I really want to create a plug and play kind of framework for those businesses that want to go digital. So obviously, with the government grant, with all the digital tools, right, I feel that is not good enough, because for you to go online and provide your services, right, you really need to understand a lot of different elements. And a good way to think about it is like how startups, right? How startups do it. So startups have a lot of strategies and methodologies, and startups has been, the big thing for the last 10, 20 years, right? Starting from like Google, Facebook, and people start their startup in the garage and slowly grow into a billion-dollar business. They have certain methodologies that they use, and over the years, all these methodologies are being documented. Now, I just feel that the most quick and fast way to do this is to really take all these methodologies and put it into the framework. So I call it VCS, which is like you validate your hypothesis, you have an idea, you validate it first, and then you go create a minimal viable product, get the market to confirm with you, right? What do you mean by confirm? Which is to pay you money, yeah. So you cannot count all those friends and loved ones to say, wow, your product really good, that one cannot count, okay? When you have a minimal viable product, like for example, you want to do a brand new flavor of kueh lapis cake, okay? Maybe you do a pandan flavor or cheese flavor kueh lapis cake, and then you give to all your colleagues, your office people, right? They might say good because they feel that, hey, you're giving them a free cake, right? But the moment you ask them, will you pay for it? Yeah, that is the golden question. Okay. So guys, um, make sure that people pay for your product. Okay, that's how you confirm with the market, yeah, whether your product can sell. Then eventually you systemize your operations, your sales team, your process to build to service your customer, all the things, right? Once you have a system, then you can scale that system, right? Because always remember, building great companies is all about predictability and repeatability. So things that you can repeat, right? Like Lego blocks, right? You add more blocks, the thing gets bigger. Yeah. So systems are very important. Okay. So yeah, but today's session, right? I really want to talk about the different mistakes that all these founders, right, make during the years when I was working closely with them. So guys, who wants to know about all these mistakes? Now, mistakes are very expensive and very, very costly. Why? Because you potentially could just lose your entire business because of some bad decisions. Remember one episode I was talking about, like Famous Amos, the cookie, right? Today you still see Famous Amos when you go shopping center, that nice cookie fragrance, Famous Amos, right? Well, do you also know the fact that Famous Amos, right? Amos himself, who owns the brand name and the company, right? He founded it, right? He at 80-ish years old completely lost everything. Not only he lost his company, he even lost his name. Basically, he cannot use his name to start another company. So he cannot have like Amos Cookie or Amos 2 or no longer. Oh, by the way, I named my dog Amos because I like the cookie so much. So that's why I did that case study in the last episode. But right, my point here is, if you make the wrong decisions, right, you make all these mistakes, it can be very costly. You can lose everything that you have built. Yeah. So if you guys want to know what these mistakes are today, right? Please type in yes, I want to know. Rudy, save me from all the trouble. Yeah, type in yes, and I'll tell you in a bit. Yeah. And while you guys are responding, right, I just want to share a few announcements. Okay. So number one, my team will be doing a free workshop. Is to learn how to do valuation, especially during this COVID period, right? What stock to buy, all that, right? How do you evaluate them? How do you value the companies? How do you value these stocks, right? So my team, right? The team lead, Sean, right? He's gonna do a free workshop tomorrow. Okay. So what you do is you see the link over here, right? Yes. Take note of this link, click it, go to the Endless page, register yourself, and you'll be able to attend this workshop for free, absolutely free. Okay, it's really about teaching you how to do stock valuation, how to how to buy the good companies during this COVID period, right? There's a lot of opportunities, right? Correct. So with these opportunities, then you'll be jumping at every different stock. So what stock to buy? Yeah. So he will teach you how to evaluate, all these stocks. Yeah. Okay. So remember to take down this link. Okay. I'm gonna change the announcement to another one. Okay, very quickly. I'm gonna take down this link soon. So if you have not taken down the link, remember, take down this link. You will be able to go to the workshop for free. Yes, we are doing a lot of stuff to give to the community because these are knowledge that we know we have, and this is the time whereby people need as much guidance, advice, assistance, or even someone to chat with, right? Yeah. So we are doing all this for the community during this pandemic period. Yeah, awesome, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, and next will be the next week challenge. So this week challenge was that snake game, right? Which obviously I didn't. I wasn't able to play well, lah. Okay, so next week challenge is each speaker has to weave in a sentence into their presentation. Now, this challenge is quite interesting because it involves you guys. If during that presentation, you are able to catch the phrase, you will be winning some gift. So I heard the gift is a book or a free workshop, right? So people pay a couple $100 for it, you get a voucher, either that one or a book shipped to your house. Yeah. So it's really awesome. All you need to do is to be able to catch that phrase. Okay. So the next speaker is going to happen on Monday, and his name is Chris. So Chris, I challenge you. The challenge sentence is Scooby Dooby Doo. Yeah. Because I just remember about my darling doggy, yeah, Amos. Yeah. So the next challenge, Chris, is to weave the phrase Scooby Dooby Doo. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know how you're gonna do it. Just weave that sentence into your presentation. All right, Chris. All the best. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just start the presentation very quickly. Yes, so I believe a lot of you guys are very keen to know and find out, right, what exactly it is that startups founders, especially the early founders, right, make, right, in terms of mistakes, right, that really cost them gravely. Okay, so the first one. This is not the first one. This is a teaser. Okay, so but there's a point there. Okay, for today's session, right, the biggest mistake is really not learning from mistake, because everybody in the past has already walked the steps, right? So like clearing a game, like in this case, right, for Mario. So clearing this Mario game, there's already a clear step on how to do it. If people are willing to share with you the script, the steps, or the map, the treasure map, to help you to figure out quickly, how to clear this stage. Why don't you take that map or the script, or that steps or the instructions? Yeah. So I deliberately want to say this because I hope that whatever I share later, right, it will be something that you guys will remember, and constantly remind yourself at the back of your head that these are things that are pertinent to you running your ventures, and I hope that it will help you in some way to make sure that you guard against all these mistakes before it happens. Yeah. Okay, so mistake number one. People tend to try to take too much advice, right? They may call it the Singaporean kiasu syndrome. Yeah, tend to take too much advice from everyone. That's the problem. Okay, so like for guys who go to national service. So when you want to go national service, then all your friends, right? Obviously, all the guys who've been through national service want to give you some advice. So they tell you like things like, hey, don't chiong, you must a king, you just be a office clerk and just drift through your 2 years, 2.5 years, right? Or there are those who say, no, absolutely wrong. You should be a commando officer. And to be a commando officer, you must do this and you must do that. Da, 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 da. Now, then eventually, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna chung or are you gonna king, right? So 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 all this information are not even helping at all, right? It's just pulling you in a different direction. Or like going to a relationship for guys or for girls, right? Like you just met a guy and then when first time falling in love and people say, hey, this guy good or is he someone who will look after the family, look after you and all that? Oh, what is his family background? He's tall, he's short, he's plump, is this, da, da, da. There's so many opinions, but not that opinions are wrong or right. It is their opinion, all right? So eventually, all right, you need to develop your own opinion of um what is important, and I feel that, right, where you can find this importance in terms of from the people that's giving you the advice, okay, guys, is to find people who has made it in life. They made it in life and they are at this stage of their life right now, right? And you are at this stage right now, right? So guys, this is you, right? You, okay? This is you right now, okay? What you need is to find people that are at the top of the leaderboard, isn't it? Okay? So I'm just using game kind of analogy, but you get the drift. You find people who are really successful, who are those that you want to be, or you envision yourself that you will achieve and accomplish, and ask them for advice. Yeah, those advice matters because you can relate to them. The relevance is there. And you'll be able to make sure that you get those elements right as you pursue your business, your ventures, or your whatever you are doing, right? Yeah. So this lead me to the second thing, okay, which you guys saw it a little bit just now. This lead me to the second thing, which is another mistake that a lot of founders do, is not knowing how to ask for the correct advice. Yeah. So even sometimes you get a really awesome mentor willing to spend time with you, right? You know where to look for them. But not knowing how to ask for the advice is like wasting bullets. Right? You go hunting, you found a rabbit, but then you're a bobo shooter, right? You miss the target and then the rabbit runs away. So you must hit the target. You must be able to ask the correct question. And then what kind of question do you ask? I mean, I'll give you some examples. Right. So my main point in this example, so these are just like random examples, right? But main point is this: they are successful right now, right? This is not relevant to you at all. I mean, in terms of life stage, they are successful right now. But you want to ask them, when they were at your level, when they were at your age, when they were struggling just like you, what did they do that's different? How did they overcome this? Yeah, these are important questions. So when they cannot find the talents, for this instance, to help them in their business, what did they do to capture those talents? If you watch Romance of Three Kingdom, what did Liu Bei do, right, to win the war, right, to win the battles, right? He recruited Zhuge Liang. He recruited some of the best fighters. So what did these people do? That is able to attract talents. Yeah, to help you to fight those battles, right? You know, if you are struggling with like just $1,000 a month, revenue, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you sell, you're struggling, right? These mentors, these advisors, when they were in the same stage as you, when they were struggling themselves, what did they do? Oh, thanks. Sorry, I just realized for that my slide's still tiny. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Yeah. So what did these guys do to multiply their revenue? Yeah. And even for customers, how did they manage to acquire, customers, and give you that kind of J curve? J curve is like the growth curve, right? Growth curve, you don't want plateau, obviously, and you don't want to go downwards. Neither do you want a gradual gradient, right? You want a J curve, which is like exponential, boom, goes up. So there are certain methods that people use to capture, their audience and acquire their customers and convert, their customers' interest into actual paying customers. So what is the technique that they do, that is relevant to your business? Those things you want to learn, right? Is what sometimes they call the secret sauce, isn't it? And obviously, when you run a business, you need financing. So as a small business with so much credibility, how do you convince investors to pump in money to your company? Yeah. So these are questions that you guys might want to think about. Yeah. So no problem at all, man. So yeah. So guys, always remember to structure your questions when you have an opportunity to meet all these mentors and advisors. Yeah, it is extremely important to be able to ask the correct question, because I see a lot of founders, right? They tend to, instead of pull, which is ask the questions, and absorb like a sponge, instead of pull, they have a kind of that push mentality, like they need to be pushed. Like they feel that the mentor's job or the advisor's job, right, is to push them, is to get them to do things, to achieve things. But I think that is a very entitled kind of mentality, because guys, you are putting everything on the line right now to do your business. You should just claw, every nugget of great advice, that you can get your hands on, right, as soon as possible. Yeah. And in order to do that, you have to structure your thoughts. You have to structure your questions. You have to structure, it where it align with your goal, right? This is what I want to achieve. I need to get financing. So these are the things that you need to think carefully, and then you will be able to ask the correct question. All right, guys. Okay, next. Now, sometimes people tend to have or people sometimes have the tendency to think that they can command their stuff around, or because they now run a company, right? They are able to pressure, their staff to do things, or pressure their clients, to buy things, or to pressure their suppliers to lower the cost. So this is actually a recipe for disaster, because end of the day, what do you have? You have broken relationships, correct? And in worst cases, right, you probably get the best talent walking out of your company. Yeah, with that high level of pressure, being placed on them, right? They probably don't want to sour the relationship further. Then they say, like, they call it a day, and they leave. And it's like what I would call it, talent drain. Yeah. So I think it's also very important that you guys take very, very um good note of the fact that there's certain level of push, motivation, but also be very careful that you scare the people away. Yeah. Wow. Hey, thanks for the support, Badly. Thanks. Yeah. So, but on the other hand, um, there is the other concern, which is bosses that tend to be too nice, right? The angel wings, very patient, everything is okay, take the chill pill, listen to every opinion, right? Um, yes, Bentley, I can say your name, yeah, and it's an awesome name, because it's such a luxurious brand name for a really nice car, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Hey, hi, Freddie, hi. So there's a lot of business founders tonight, yeah. Yeah, welcome, guys. Welcome to join my show. Yeah, so yes, sometimes as a boss, right, as a boss of the company, um, you also cannot be too nice to the point whereby, you know, you lost the steering wheel. You need to actually steer the car, the vehicle, the ship, or what you call it, right? The company, right? The organization. And And being too nice will create a destability, because you'll be pulled to in different direction, right? In terms of the people dynamics. Yeah. So people dynamics are very tricky. And obviously being too nice about it would just only make things worse. On the other hand, being too too harsh, being too strong-headed and all that, and not listening to anyone, you won't be able to learn anything as well, right? You won't be able to get feedbacks at all, right? So then the question is, hey Rudy, then you say like that cannot, then how? Then what do you do? Okay, let me show you. So what you need to do, right, is basically leadership by example. Okay, here's what I mean. So guys, you must be very hands-on in your business, right? So when you're hands-on in your business, you actually know how to do these things, and then you invite people to join your team, right? To join your team. So when you invite people to join your team, you're able to actually suggest and guide people. So things like this, right? You when you influence by example, right? You can say things like, here is what I did. Perhaps it might be able to help you. This is what works, right? Or this is what I recommend to my client, that got them buying, right? Or this is what I say, or this is what I think, right? So basically, it's more like using your charm, to get your point across, right? So try not to take the my way or the highway kind of approach. Neither should you take the like make everyone happy kind of approach. Yeah. So try to influence, um instead of forcing your way through. Yeah. So this is one of the mistakes that some of the founders, find themselves very trapped in, because they're frustrated. They want to get things done quickly. And then why other people are going the opposite direction, not following instruction, giving resistance. This is the reason. Yeah. Because they are not able to influence them. Yeah. So yeah, this is another mistake that a lot of founders make. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yes. You need to be firm and yet flexible. Yeah. And be very approachable. Awesome, awesome, awesome remark there. Yeah. Okay. So this happened a lot with, okay, I don't want to say, like young founders, specifically, but there's a tendency for the younger folks, right, to want to show their achievement, right, early, to prove a point. And sometimes I feel patience is very important. You need to be patient, in terms of being able to manage success. Yeah. So so if you watch the show, right, The Wolf of Wall Street, wow, they really go all out to party, right? So that's okay. I feel that, you know when we party and we celebrate the victories, right, for too long, right, we actually end up stagnating. We're not focusing on the business. Yeah. So it's okay to have like a small party, like just to celebrate certain milestones. But guys, let's not get carried away, because you must understand, you only get one shot in your business. Okay. Every time when you reach this level, you get one shot to reach another level. Yeah. So don't waste the shot. Don't get distracted. Yeah. I have seen people, like founders, guys, this is true. I've seen founders spending future money. So basically, they got a large order coming in. They haven't received the payment yet, guys. They haven't received the payment yet. And they went out to party, right? They blow like maybe, 20, 30, 40% of, the profits, right? And it's very sad, because why? Until the money is in your bank, right? The money is not in your bank. So what happened to this founder particularly is, and I guess you guys will know what happened. The deal fell through. The customer last minute pulled the plug, didn't want to purchase, right? So all of a sudden, these guys went to deficit, because they have been spending the money, right? They buy fancy stuff, MacBooks, went party, went drinking, they blew. So you see, guys, sometimes, you know it's it's okay to celebrate, but not get carried away. Yeah. And that's the other thing, which is a lot of again, I don't want to discriminate young or old, but okay, let's put it this way. Sometimes, we are young and bashful, right? Um, there are founders who tends to think that they have the need to entertain. So when they run business, they feel that by drinking, by going to disco, is or KTV or the kind of stuff, right? It's a way of entertainment, entertaining clients to get business. Again, no right or wrong, but the question is, do you actually close the deal after going for entertainment? And the more important question is, are you able to come to work tomorrow, after drinking so much? Yeah. So or partying so much. Yeah. Do you have the energy? Yeah. So I feel that as the founder, the responsibility is on the founder to make sure that they do everything correct, to run the organization. Yeah. So once again, don't get carried away. So when I mention don't get carried away, is really to find the equilibrium. And to find the equilibrium, right, is a balance between expanding and stagnation. And let me explain this. Now, if you want to do anything, make sure it contributes to an expansion of maybe your life in terms of knowledge, your compassion, in terms of even like if you wear expensive watch or clothes, right? You're expanding your network because you are gaining trust, from your network, to see that, hey, you guys are doing well, right? Oh, Bentley, you're doing well. Freddie, you're doing well, right? So people can see that you're doing well. You dress well, you're clean shaven. People trust you enough to do business with you. Yeah. So in that way, yes, whatever you do, the money you spend is to expand your network in terms of the trust, right? So whatever you do, on the other hand, that causes you to stagnate, like over partying, over drinking, staying up too late, messing around too much, cannot go to work. Yeah. Then not only you stagnate, but you backtrack, right? Yeah. So those decisions have to be made to ask yourself, whatever I'm doing right now, does it contribute to expanding my life and my business, or it causes it to stagnate, right? You have to ask yourself, right? Because end of the day, it's just like a revenue minus cost. If revenue more than cost, you earn profit. Yes. So in this case, if whatever you do contribute to expanding your business and your life, right, more than stagnating it, you progress. Yeah. So to achieve progress in your business and in your life, you need to contribute your time, by making those decisions that leads up to expanding it. Yeah. All right. Awesome. If it's awesome, right, please type in awesome. I love the word awesome because everybody is awesome. You guys are all awesome. Okay. So now come to the next big mistake, which is the tendency to try to stretch yourself too thin by selling too many products. Yeah. So what's the problem here? You see, when you are young and you're new, right, customers have not really established trust in you yet. So if you tell them so many different things, it's very hard for them, or very hard for you to guide them to make a decision. Yeah, like this is okay, this one also good, So it's very important, I felt, right, especially when you guys are starting a venture, is to focus on one product. And don't get me wrong, by saying, okay, what if I just want to test the market? Go ahead, do A/B test, put 2 different products or 3 different products and see which product sell. That is a very different conversation. Testing the market, testing the response, testing the price point is very different from having you to manufacture and produce everything and put it out there. Testing means you're basically doing like a minimal viable product, right? So you're not sure. You're not sure if a green color is more popular than red color. You're not sure. It's okay. You can test the market, right? You put the product out there. But it's very different conversation when you actually invest cash to buy parts, inventory, hire people, and create so many SKUs out there. Yeah. Because what happens if this thing don't sell, right, it's just gonna sit on your shelf and you're gonna run into cash flow problem. Yeah. So be very mindful of that. Yeah. Now, so how you going to approach this is, one of the blue ocean strategy, and I wish I read this book much earlier, right? It's really in the pursuit of how do you actually differentiate your product while at the same time, right, driving costs downwards. Yeah. And and this is where, I call it the sweet spot, right? It's called value innovation. Basically, traditional business like to compete on price, right? There's a tendency to compete on price because it's a saturated market, right? Red ocean, you know. But the blue ocean strategy teaches us to be able to find something that differentiates itself and at a very high value, a perceived value to the customers. And what you do is, basically you try to eliminate what the industry thinks is redundant or they take for granted, right? Certain features, you know, to them it's like have or don't have, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yes, blue ocean. Yeah. So to some of the consumers, like if you offer this feature, it doesn't really move the needle for them. Well, you might want to consider, eliminating them and focus instead on what is important, what are the important features for them. Yeah. And the other thing is also how do you actually reduce the cost, in terms of, reducing the size of the inventories, reducing the numbers of products that go out there, right? And increase the volume of that winning product. So if you think about minimum order quantity, MOQ, right? So if you can increase production, you actually reduce cost. Yeah. So these are the things that you want to consider from the perspective of cost. Now, from the perspective of buyer value, is how are you able to create products, right, that raise, the happiness level of the customers. Yes, you might have a QWERTY keypad phone produced by Nokia that let you do all the basic function, right? And they try to innovate by giving you more complicated keypad that slides here and there. Then on the other hand, you have Steve Jobs, creating a application economy. So they get app developers to develop games, different kind of interesting function, right? And provide to people mainly during those days free. Now, the happiness level of using Nokia versus the happiness level of using an iPhone, the iPhone obviously is so much higher because there's so much more engagement, there's so much more awesome things to do, right? On an iPhone. Yeah. So those are the things that you want to raise and create more. Okay. So reduce cost, increase buyer value, and that's how you get your sweet spot, right? It's what I call the value innovation. Okay. It's not about creating more product. You're not selling Yong Tau Fu here. Okay. Okay. You don't need to create so many SKU. All right. When you do a business, you must be very mindful of cost, in terms of inventory and all that. Okay. Make sure that you create the best value product and focus on it. Yeah. Awesome. Everybody's benefiting from the presentation. If you are benefiting from the presentation, right? Please type yes. Yeah, that encourage me to do even better. Okay. Thanks, guys. Okay. This mistake, even I myself have made it. When I was much younger. Thinking that I know it, know everything. Yeah. Why? Because sometimes we have the tendency to say, we don't want to depend on people, we just want to, do it ourselves. We rough it out, we figure it out, we coach ourselves, don't know, we go Google, right? Thanks, waiter. Thanks, guys. Thanks. So yeah, I mean, sometimes we have the tendency that, like, never mind lah, don't bother to listen to so many people, all right? We just do it ourselves. But you see, the thing is that when you start a business, right, you must understand that there's really a lot of skill sets, a lot of things that we do not know from the get-go. And if there's already a wheel, that can be used, right? Like the old adage, why reinvent the wheel? So that's the point, right? So like just now when I was sharing, asking the correct question and knowing who to ask those questions from, right? It's the same thing. Doing business is actually you exchanging your comfort of salary, your comfort of time. There's a high chance it may fail, right? You're exchanging all these things for what? for you to grow as a human being, as a person. And for you to grow, you need to learn stuff, you need to engage stuff, you need to experience stuff. And the best way, right, is to, open up yourself to all this information. Yeah. So by thinking that, you know it all, right, basically creates a situation where you can't do things faster, you can't do things better, and you can't even push the envelope, right? You kind of like just block yourself out. Yeah. So be very mindful that if you want to advance, the formula, right, is to be very coachable. Yeah. So people who are very coachable, right, are like magnets. I have seen it happen so many times in the startup space, especially when I train like, so you train like 20, 30, 40 startup founders, and you will know that some of the founders, right, even though they may not come from the most privileged school or the most privileged background, right, but for the fact that they're so willing to learn, a lot of people come and help them. A lot of like very high caliber people, right, will just take out time to help them because these founders are coachable, and very willing to learn. You see, so this is one lesson to take away. The mistake is to think that we know everything, and the lesson to learn is instead be very coachable, because once you are very coachable, you are like a magnet, right? So in this slide, I want to share, one of the greatest wisdom, Socrates has shared with all of us, right? He said that, the only thing that I know, right, is that I know nothing. Yeah. So I hope that this too, inspire you guys, right? This phrase, because it inspires me. Yeah. And next is, when you leave a job and you become the boss of the company, right? The mistakes that a lot of founders tend to make is, well, I'm the boss. I do whatever I want, whenever I want, right? This is really one of the grave mistakes. That's why I'm saving all the best for the last. They come to work anytime they want. Um, they make a mistake and they just brush it off, right? Because there's nobody to hold you accountable for, right? They make a bad decision, they go like, whatever, right? They lost some money because of a deal that they never structured properly. It's like whatever. But guys, it's when you move from employee, right, to becoming an entrepreneur, right, there's no boss. Yeah. Even for the entrepreneur, right, don't think that you are the boss, right? So there's a few things you must think about. Number one, when you become an entrepreneur, right, you need to be the greatest salesman. You need to be able to sell, 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 and sell. Okay, that's the number one most important thing. Yeah, because if you don't know how to sell, people also don't know how to help you to sell. Yeah, because this is your invention, your idea, your hypothesis, your product. Yeah, and because you go out and sell, you'll also be able to get so-called slapped by customers, and you feel the pain, right? Then you come back and improve the product, improve the service. Yeah, so you must be able to sell. Yeah, and you must sell. Okay, all founders out there, please type in the word sell. Okay, you must go out and sell. Yeah. Okay, cannot depend on people to sell, because salesmen will probably smoke you. Okay, if you do not know what's going on. Yeah, you as the founder, you as the owner of the business, you must go out there and sell. Yeah, so remember this. Okay, number two, going solo, right, is not sustainable. So that's why in my diagram here, right, find a pacer. Guys, it's very important to find good partners in life, especially if you're on a journey. Why? Because not only they keep you as accompany you as a companion, right? But they also will push you and nudge you. They will challenge you. They will question you whether your decision is right or wrong, right? They will nudge you to push the envelope, and do more. Yeah, it's like when you go to work, and the moment you reach the office, right, your partner is already there, replying email, drinking coffee. How do you feel? You also feel like, wow, I need to work harder also, right? Because I cannot like so-called 对不起我的 partner. So that's why sometimes having a pacer in business, it helps because it pays you, you don't slack. He holds you accountable for. He's your sounding board. You go and ask him, oh, what do you think of this idea? What do you think of this opinion? Right? He directs you, to do the right the important things. Because sometimes when you have too many things in your head, you cannot focus. You have someone to talk to. Yeah. So remember, okay. Number one, be able to sell. Number two, find a pacer, right? And obviously, the moment you decide to be a boss, you're no longer a taker, right? Employee, you're still a taker. When can I take my salary? When can I take my medical benefits? When can I take my leave? When can my boss say some good words, for me? No more. When you become entrepreneur, you are a giver. You give people jobs, right? You give people opportunities. You give your customers better value, right? You give better life to people around you. Okay, so your role is very important. Yeah, as the boss of the company. Okay, awesome. Okay, next, and this is the last one, which is the most important one. Not having a schedule. Okay, come in at any time, suka suka. Okay, all that. This is terrible. Failing to meet the milestone, terrible. Guys, this founder was supposed to create the website. Say, for example, the discussion and all that was in the year before, say December. The work should start in January. So when I check in with the founder says, oh, I've not found the developing engineer. Okay, how long you need? Okay, 3 weeks. Okay, then cannot find the correct maybe graphics designer and concept. Okay, another. Long story short, that website took almost 8 months to build. Why? Because there is no schedule. There's no timeline. There's no urgency. 8 months, my friend, is a lot of money. Imagine your cash burner. Every month is 5K or that. And you need a website to launch it to go to market. Right? Why is that important? Because the sooner you launch, the sooner you can start to monetize. The sooner you get revenue. 8 months. 8 months sitting there, nada, not making anything, zero. It's just burning cash. You still have to pay office rental, you still have to pay staff, you still have to, right? So it's very important to have a schedule and stick by the schedule. And even on a daily basis, guys, I would encourage you guys to have a schedule, right? So those who fail to plan, plans to fail, right? At the old adage. And these are examples of founders who are very successful, right? So I took a shot of their schedule, right? You look at it. Every day, every hour, there are very specific things to do. Like in the morning, getting them ready, meditation, journaling, having a vision, affirmation, all these are very, very important. Then they start their day. And guys, you don't need to fill up your schedule, right? Whereby you say specifically what I need to do. It can be a block. Say, for example, time for my finance officer to talk, time for my CTO to chat. Just schedule time. Time for deep work. Basically, like shut down, nobody disturb you. You do deep work, deep thinking, strategic thinking. So you just block out times, right? Then when you come to the day itself, you figure out what you need to do during that block of time. Yeah. So that's it. Nothing very complicated, right? Why is it important? Because you create something where you can follow and sustainable, and that's how you actually inch closer and closer and closer and closer to your goal, yeah, or to your targets, yeah. So guys, important to have a schedule, but more importantly, it has got to be your ritual. Cannot be this week you do like that, very motivated. Next week you puncture, yeah, you know, like your car, the tire, no more air, give up. Cannot. It has to be a ritual, guys. To succeed in business, right? There's no holiday. If there's a holiday, it's the most expensive holiday. Don't you think so? Don't you think so? If you do business and you use it as a holiday, right, it's the most expensive holiday. That's why, sometimes people say, oh, I want to do business, but end up doing nothing. So you actually sacrifice your salary and your time, your youth or whatever, going nowhere. Isn't it a very expensive holiday? Yeah. So it's important to have a schedule, whether is it on your project, whether is it on your own day to day, doing the daily honest job, but be very strict about it. Punish yourself. Like for example, you don't let yourself go to say a party that you want to go, or a favorite restaurant dinner that you want to consume. If you don't follow your schedule, forget about those enjoyment. Yeah, it's a punishment, right? This is what I meant by ritual. You have to really be very strict about, you know, your plans. Because again, the old adage says, if you fail to plan, you're basically planning to fail. Yeah. All right, guys. So yeah, it's very important, right, to remember this. There's already historical, evidence like today, based on how I interact with all the startup founders, very, very smart people and all that. And yet they make all these mistakes, right? Things like don't want to listen to people, or things like, partying too hard, all these mistakes, right? Or things like not being able to find a pacer to push them, they become, like trapped in their own head. All these mistakes are already there. The thing that we can do as a favor to ourselves is to learn from people's mistake, right? Yeah. So that's why, George Bernard Shaw, which is a novelist, right? He's also a Nobel winner, and some people say that he is, like the second Shakespeare. Yeah. Right. So with all these mistakes that has been already made there, is historical. We have to be able to learn from this experience. Yeah. Okay, so these are the top 8 secrets, that we run through today, right? But I just want to point out like a few things, right? So number one, when you become a founder, right, you must have the correct mindset, right? If I were to summarize what I'm saying today, right, you must have the correct mindset, you know, to run this business, right? Things like uh be very coachable, be very willing to learn, things like don't take your position for granted. Try to influence people than forcing people to do things. Things like that, right? You must have the correct mindset, the shift, and also the shift, right? The mindset shift from being an employee, to an entrepreneur. Both are E, but the mindset is very different. Yeah. Secondly, right, you make sure that you equip yourself with the skill set. This is an awesome journey. When you come out, you step out to do business, become an entrepreneur. It's an awesome journey because there's so many things to learn. So many things to learn. Learn about myself, learn about running the business, learn about accounting, learn about doing PowerPoint to do presentation, to pitch, learn about, going online, learn about social media, learn about video, learn about recording. So many things to learn. I tell you, it's like it's very fulfilling because it's like going back to school all over again, and every day is a discovery. Yeah. So go ahead, go out there and attain all these skill sets and make you better and better and better at doing your job, as the entrepreneur of your business. Yeah. And when you have that tool as your foundation, obviously when the opportunity comes, you're able to grasp it, right? And expand on it. Yeah. So remember all these important mistakes that the young founders or early founders, or in fact any founders would have made. Yeah. And turn them into lessons that are able to actually help you to accomplish much more in your business. All right, guys. So I hope that every one of you will be able to live a life, right, that creates experiences and memories, right, that outlive you, and people still talk about you even you're long gone. Yeah. And I felt that, like this is the fun thrill about doing business, right? You leave a legacy behind. Yeah. And also I have an announcement to make before I go is Friday show, right? From next week onwards will change to Thursday. Yeah. So remember, to like and share. If you feel that all this content really helps these people, like I say, I'm doing this out of passion, and everything is complimentary. And really, all the videos like this one, like today, is actually recorded inside my Facebook page, right? And it's available on Endless as well. So back to Endless. There's even more content. There's content on business strategy. There's also content on investments. Yeah. So other so-called contributors like myself, they're all contributing, to teach you things where you can actually generate income. Especially during this really tough time, challenging time. You can actually look at stocks, and how to invest wisely and all that kind of stuff. So do visit Endless, and oh, thanks. I'm very encouraged. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks. I'm so encouraged. Yeah. Thanks, waiter. Yeah. So yeah, so remember to help me to like and share so that more people can also benefit from these sessions. All right, guys. Okay, so with that, I leave you to have a really awesome weekend, and I'll see you next week. Remember, the show for next week is on Thursday. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Good night. Good night, guys. Have an awesome weekend ahead. See you next week. Bye bye. Bye bye.